there's a lot of reasons to get paid six figures. You know, a lot of things, and there's also a lot of things that I would like to get for my birthday. Now you're sitting here, you're saying, how are those two things related? This guy's talking about money, this guy's talking about birthdays. Well, if you haven't heard, there was a gentleman recently who got awarded $450,000 by the court, 300,000 of which was for emotional damages. And this was because his work office decided to throw him a birthday party.
Yeah, I'm on board.
The part that I'm leaving out and is also very important is that this gentleman had anxiety. So he was prone to panic attacks. He went to his office before and he let his office know. He said, listen, please do not throw me a birthday party because I have panic attacks and it won't be a good sight. For some reason, they heard his words and it went in one ear, went out the other. They decided to throw him a big shindig. He apparently spent the shindig locked in his car. So I don't know if the cake was good. I don't know if he knows if the cake was good. I hope it was red velvet. But they brought him into the office the next day, which apparently triggered some more panic attacks. I don't know what happened in said office, but a few days later via email, they fired him. So he decided to sue them for, I think it was mental health discrimination was the claim that was made.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of it. But I'm sure it's obviously something. And was awarded, like I said, $450,000.
It was the jury awarded the loot to Kevin Berling, who sued his employer for disability discrimination.
There it is. Disability discrimination. There it is.
Well, look,
I don't know how I feel about this.
Look, the guy was working there, according to this article, for 10 months. And I'll tell you how I feel about this. And that part's important because $450,000, like take his salary, multiply, but that's why it's important. But
well, that was what the $150,000 was for. His salary projected.
I have anxiety. So I relate to this person. I don't have crippling anxiety, but I do know that it's a real thing. My anxiety, at one point when it first started, was really bad. Before I started driving, obviously I would take the bus and the train, and I had to quit a job because I couldn't leave my house. I've been on the bus and I've had to just literally in the middle of wherever I was and get off the bus.
Right.
Like, because panic attack. So I know exactly what that's like. I've ruined date nights, you name it. Right. That's a stretch, but it's definitely more under control now. So, and this is why I'm relating to this guy so much, because even the same thing, when I had a different job, a new job after I quit the previous one, I told my employer, look, I suffer from anxiety. We're on the 15th floor. If I start to have a panic attack, are you guys okay if I just get up from my desk and go for a walk? And the guy said, yeah, my wife, same thing. I was an account manager, so the time was flexible like that.
Right.
So he did the same thing to his employer. He told them specifically, if what he's saying is believed to be true, do not throw me a birthday party. I can't take it. And then they did it. Forget what happened in the meeting the next day, which led to him being terminated. Just the act of them putting me through this, the birthday party, after I explicitly said, don't do it, I'm gonna sue you. For sure.
It's okay. So the first part, I want to be very clear, where he went to his employer and said, don't do this. And they did it anyways. That part, wrong. Completely agree with. The issue I have here is the next day. That's where I see we flip-flop. My issue is with that situation. I don't want to neglect that situation because I know a lot of people who do have mental health issues. And I know a lot of people who abuse the fact that they have mental health issues and have convenient symptoms from their mental health issues when it serves their purpose sometimes because they know they can use it. Uh, Him going into the office the next day and saying it caused a panic attack, I don't know what that means when he says it. Did he start yelling at them? Was he, because the employer said that the reason that they terminated his employment after that was because they were scared that he was possibly going to be violent after that. So something happened during that meeting that led them to believe that, knowing that he has anxiety, once again, they knew it this time for sure, they still said to themselves, listen, he's something here is still has me a little bit off.
Well,
He took that and said, I had a panic attack, just generalized it, whatever that was. And of course, used that in the court and ended up getting 300,000. I understand the money for the salary. Cool. That's justified because the action was wrong during the birthday party. $300,000 for emotional damages?
well, yeah, you got to remember this guy went to his employer in advance and said, don't do this. It's a
Right.
very simple request. So fine. They did it anyways. I still now don't want to work here because I don't trust you guys anymore. So how do I know the next company I go to work for, they won't do the same thing as well? Of course, emotional damage, emotional distress. And when you talk about, the day after and then being possibly concerned that he would be violent from something that may have occurred in that office, we don't know. But remember, he sued them for disability discrimination. So they could be looking at his anxiety, and I don't know who they have in their staff. I don't know if any of them have medical degrees, but they could be looking at him like, oh, this guy has panic attacks. And because you have panic attacks, you might get violent. You can't work here anymore. You're a risk to the rest of the people in the office, not knowing anything about anxiety. That could be again, he sued for disability discrimination.
Right, but let's be clear, the suit was based on the fact that he was terminated. That's what it was based on. So it was the termination that was the driving factor behind this suit, him actually getting fired because of it.
No,
that was a discrimination.
I got it.
So yes, the party is part of the case because it is relevant to what's happening, but he is arguing that he shouldn't have been fired. And what I'm saying is, why are we overlooking what happened in that office the next day? Because it is very possible that he didn't get fired because of the birthday party, because I can't see that happening. But whatever reaction he had that next day, whatever that was, that he just called himself, he just said it's a panic attack, was more so than a panic attack, and possibly was an emotional reaction that went overboard on his part.
I can see how you would go there, but I truly think that what I was saying is a little bit more plausible. They fired him because they believe, because this person is prone to panic attacks, they have anxiety. One of their outbursts, one of their reactions to a panic attack could be, oh, you might get violent.
Because when they knew that before, and they threw him a birthday party. They knew he had anxiety. And well, somebody maybe forgot because they threw him the birthday party anyways. Let's be real here. But he did tell them. So there was knowledge. He did tell them in conversation, I have anxiety. This is what's going on. So they knew about it. And
so you're saying why would they throw it if they knew he could get violent?
So I agree with you that these are clearly people who probably don't understand what anxiety means, because obviously, in their hearts, they probably believe that they were doing the right thing. They probably believe that, oh, he has anxiety, but he doesn't have to worry because we love him. We care about him. We're a family. Let's show him and he'll get over his anxiety. Maybe that's why they ended up throwing the party. There had to be a reason why they ended up throwing this party. It couldn't just be, oh, you said this, but we forgot. It couldn't, especially when it's something, especially these days when it has to do with mental health. I have to believe that there was some other reason that they decided to do this. With that being said, whatever emotions that he had, that he displayed, they had knowledge of it. So it can't be that when they sat in that office now and he's reacting the way that he's reacting, they're not sitting there like, oh, this guy has anxiety. We need to factor that into his reactions to what we're saying. They did do that. They had to have. And even with that, they still said a few days later,
bro,
he's got to go.
Bro, you are giving these people way too much credit. Although I agree with you that they did not throw a birthday party with malicious intent, I can't even say that without
I can't see.
chuckling.
I can't see them
Because
throwing
like
it like,
who does
oh,
that?
now we're definitely gonna throw. Oh, you got anxiety? Oh yeah, now we're definitely gonna
No,
throw you a
yeah,
birthday
no, I
party.
can't see that.
Not
But
somebody who apparently makes as much money as this guy does.
what I'm saying though is these people are obviously dumb. That's all I think. I think these people are dumb because I don't know the company that he worked for. I'm assuming they probably weren't a small time company.
It was a tech company that he
There
worked
you
for. I forget the
go.
exact name of it.
There you go. The point is in 2022 in a workplace environment, mental health, you're not going to risk opening yourself up to a lawsuit. Like you're just not going to do it unless it was an honest mistake, which I believe it was. And then whatever happened in that office, it probably got heated. That's all. It probably got heated.
But
Words were said.
according to Mr. Berlin, he had a panic attack.
Yes, I believe
Use it.
that.
Use it and abuse it.
I know. I don't think
Use it
use it
and
and
abuse it,
abuse it.
buddy.
What I honestly think is the panic attack was genuine. I'm upset because I told you this would happen and it happened. You now embarrassed me in front of all my coworkers. You got to remember, well, how would you remember you weren't there? But I went in private and I told my person in charge of HR, hey, I have anxiety. I didn't announce it to the entire office. So if I have a panic attack in front of that's embarrassing, right? It's still embarrassing. As sensitive as
If me as a manager can't even have a meeting with you, a sit down meeting in an office, and we can't even have a discussion about what happened, you know what I
about the
mean?
panic attack, about the
Well,
panic
yeah.
attack.
Who knows? Maybe they wanted to have that meeting in there to apologize. Maybe it was they were saying that they were
It's
wrong.
not
Maybe
even very, very true. Very true. But
this guy obviously won the court case. So whatever he had with as evidence was believable, right? Let's get that out of the way and all out the way. Because what we're discussing right here is like, what if they already gave him the money? But I'm saying in my situation, looking at the situation from the outside, looking in, because I don't know none of these people. I know people who do that, who do abuse their mental health, who do say that they have certain things either to get in a sick day at work or they got into a fight with somebody and they're like, oh man, I have depression. So that's just how I act when those things happen. I've heard those type of things. And in this situation, I read it. I always read between the lines, and it sounds like he went into that office and said some stuff that was like, bro, this is more than just a panic attack. That's how his employers deemed it. But somehow, when he got to court, he was able to call the right psychologist or whatever he called, and they were able to say, listen, yes, people who have anxiety do this. They do, but that doesn't mean that everybody does.
bro,
Let's play on that though,
well,
Mr. Berlin.
let me just leave you with this. If you have people in your life that would lie about mental illness for a day off work or any sort of monetary gain, these are probably people you should cut out of your life because karma is a bitch.
It's possible,
And
man.
and what I'm trying to say is sometimes karma misses and it doesn't hit the intended target. It hits the person standing next to them. So I wouldn't want to be standing next to these people if this is what the energy they're putting in the universe. But what I will say is this: anxiety sucks. It really, really does. Talk to your medical practitioner. Get a placebo. I took placebos and they worked for me, right? So you don't have to live with it. But this guy, if what he's saying is true and he had a genuine panic attack and he notified them in advance, I think that he
$450,000.
deserves every single penny. We've talked about people who've sued their employer on this channel before, even the black janitor who sued Tesla for like, what was it, 4 or 10 million, something crazy. And even I was struggling there a little bit with why and how. But this one, because I live it, yeah, man. Congrats to you. Viewing public, what are your thoughts on this? Is this too much? Or is it just right? That's where I'm at. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget
Okay.
to like and
My
subscribe.
porridge is always hot, by the way. Since we're playing Three Little Bears or whatever that story is, Goldilocks.
He doesn't know. That's why you should go.
It
on
was
my side.
Goldilocks. It was Goldilocks. I got it at the end, right?
Yeah,
Oh
you still had
shoot.
to, you still had to
Because
guess.
when I in the middle of what I was saying, I'm like, come on, Dre. If you don't know this story, people are gonna get at you. You got to know what this is.
He doesn't know.
Goldilocks. It's Goldilocks.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Deuces. Okay.
It is Goldilocks, right? It's yo, confirm.
Damn shame. Confirm,
Yo,
viewing public. Confirm.
you're not gonna tell me for okay, whatever, bro. All
Yo,
right.
do you watch The Office?
Yeah, I do.
Do you remember that episode where Andy Bernard was like, break me off a piece of that? And he couldn't get the ending. And he's like, and they were messing with him like the entire
Yeah, they're like, and he kept saying different things.
Just
I wish I
random
remember the other
stuff.
things that he was saying.
Yeah, this is what that is. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. All right,
Oh,
deuces.